Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Today is Thursday, September the 12th. My name is Judge Esparza. We have some writ hearings scheduled this afternoon. The defendants are present in the courtroom. We're sworn in earlier. Not have a court reporter. If you're requesting one, as always, case will be reset for a later date. Not hearing any objections, we will proceed. How are you here for the state?
Good afternoon, Judge. This is Michelle Berthon for the state.
All right, great, thank you. The first case we're gonna call is E4127-24-A, State of Texas versus Yes Castro. Speak English, Mr. Castro?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay, just stand right there in the middle of the room. Right there is fine, and face the TV monitor. Lucia Regalado, sorry on the screen, there you are.
Yes.
Your client's present, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. Good afternoon. Judge, Mr. Castro is currently on, he is under indictment in the 476 District Court, and I will address those bonds just so that the court is fully aware. But the cases before Your Honor this afternoon include 2 state jail felonies. One of them is a possession of marijuana under 5 pounds, over 4 ounces, a state jail felony. The other is also a state jail felony, DWI with a child passenger. And the last charge before Your Honor is a 3rd-degree felony, evading arrest or detention. In that order, the bonds are $5,000 on the possession, $15,000 on the DWI, and $10,000 on the evading. In speaking to my client, he's been in custody for a couple of months, if I'm not mistaken. He had previously been on bond, but then had been arrested on these offenses. So he's been there for a little bit on them. The other, he is indigent, Judge. He's been found indigent by our indigent defense program, and I am court appointed to all of his cases. For the court's information, additionally, he's under, as I had mentioned previously, 2 indictments. One of them is an injury to a child, 3rd-degree felony. In that case, his bond that he posted was $15,000 cash or surety. And in the other case, it is a possession of marijuana, which is a state jail felony, and he is under a $2,000 cash or surety bond. I have not seen any verifications of incarceration, and previous to this arrest, he had been complying and he had not missed any court appearances. All those things considered, I would ask the court to consider a $10,000 cash or surety bond. The only amount of money that his family could come up with, pulling all of their money together, would be $1,000, Judge.
Okay. What says the state?
Your Honor, the state would be opposed to any bond reduction. The defendant was out on bond on 2 felonies when he picked up 3 additional felonies. He is also a repeater, Judge. The child that was in the car with him was his 5-year-old son. Due to those reasons, Your Honor, we believe that this defendant, the current bonds that are set are reasonable for these cases, Judge.
Castro, how old are you, sir?
I'm 34, sir.
You have a job?
When I get out, I'm gonna get back to work, sir.
Where were you working?
At Logan's.
When was the last time you were working there?
Before I got locked up, like on the 7th.
What do you do there?
I was cook.
I like Logan's. On the DWI charge, the magistrate who arraigned him ordered that he install an ignition interlock, which if you make bond on these charges, sir, you've got 5 days upon your release to have an ignition interlock device installed in your vehicle. You signed this order back in July when you were arrested. They will give you a copy when you're released. Failure to, well, actually it says, he's asking that you get a portable device, which is a device size of a telephone you carry it around with you. When I ask that you blow on it 3 times a day, between the hours of 6 and 8 a.m. in the morning, between the hours of 4 and 6 p.m. in the afternoon, and 9 to midnight every day.
Yes, sir.
If you do not blow on it, probation will notify us that you're missing your time when you're supposed to.
Sir.
Me, that indicates that you're drinking, and I'm gonna put you back in jail. You understand me?
Understood, sir.
Also gonna order monthly UAs through probation. They're gonna call you in periodically, get drug tested for drugs and alcohol. You come back positive, you're gonna end up back in jail.
Sir, understood.
Bond on the evading will be reduced to $3,000 cash surety. Bond on the DWI charge will be reduced to $4,000 cash surety. Bond on the possession of marijuana will be $1,000 cash surety for total, that's what, $8,000? Now, make sure you stay in contact with your attorney, you understand?
Yes, sir. Understood.
Anything else on that, Lucia?
No, Your Honor, that's all I have.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes, make sure you comply, sir.
Yes, sir.
Next case we're gonna call is C 4020-24-F, State of Texas versus Jesse Espinosa.
That's me, sir.
Hey, there you are. Cut your hair, right?
Yes, sir.
Look different. Nereida, this is your motion. Your client's present.
Yes, sir.
I believe we were here about a month ago and we had reduced one of his bonds. And it looks like they added some additional charges to him.
Yes, Judge, that's exactly what occurred. The previous charge was a sexual assault charge, and the court reduced the bond to $25,000. And then they came back with some more charges. He is in county jail with 6 additional charges, Judge. 2 sexual abuse of a child continuous with a victim under 14, 1 indecency with a child by contact, two contacts, Judge, a sexual assault, and then prohibited sexual conduct with an ancestor or descendant. They a total of $375,000. I've given the court, of course, this information before. I'll do it again just as a reminder for the court. Mr. Espinosa is a U.S. citizen. He was born in Westlaco, Texas. He does have a partner that he's been with for 13 years. Together, they are the parents of 2 boys, ages 10 and 11. These charges, we believe, arise out of older children that he has, or another older child, I want to say. This is a child that he has not seen in over 2 years. He is self-employed as a caterer. He is the support of his family. They had tried to make the $25,000 bond on the previous case, and then this hit them. So they're kind of like frozen because they cannot make these amounts at all, Judge. And so respectfully, I'm asking the court to consider reducing the sexual abuse of a child continuous victim under 14, have a $100,000 bond. I'd ask that they be reduced to $10,000. I had asked for a PR bond, Judge, but I don't know what I was thinking. Honestly, I've been getting ready for a capital murder trial that didn't go because I busted the jury. But I understand that cannot be, Judge. So I'm asking for cash or surety bond there. The second sexual abuse continuous is also $100,000. So I'd ask that to be reduced to $10,000. The indecency with a child by contact, he has 2 of those. They are at $50,000 each. I'd ask that they be reduced to $5,000 each. And then the other sexual assault, second-degree felony, is $25,000. I'd ask that it be reduced to $2,500. And then the last charge, the prohibited sexual conduct, be changed from $50,000 to $5,000 cash or surety bond. I don't know that he will be able to make these large amounts, Judge, but I believe under the circumstances, this is a reasonable request, and at least it gives us a starting point for Mr. Espinosa to try and make. I have spoken to him. He understands that he is not supposed to, come into any kind of contact with the alleged victim. He tells me that that's no problem since he hasn't seen this particular child for over 2 years. And so that's not going to be a problem. I think he would be amenable to AIP as long as he can continue working in his job as a caterer. And I don't think that would be any issue if the court would want to issue those requirements.
Okay, what says the state?
Your Honor, the state is opposed to any bond reduction. The victim in this case is his biological daughter. She stated that the abuse went on from the fall 2022 through the spring 2023. The state is also concerned for the two children that he does have that will be living with him. So no reduction, Judge.
And I believe the last time we ordered no contact with the victims or the victims' families, there was a protective order issued that will expire, it looks like, on September 25th of this month. But I'm going to ask that you have no contact until this case is resolved. You understand that? So go ahead and reduce the bond on each count. I believe there's 6 counts, correct? Or six counts?
6 counts. Yes, Judge, 6 counts.
To $5,000 cash surety on each one. So a total of $30,000.
Thank you, Judge. That
No
is all I
contact
have.
with the victims, and I'm going to ask that he be released to AIP officials only. So you will be under house arrest, sir. You are allowed to work, you're allowed to continue your catering business. You just need to, and that's fine. You just need to notify them if you're going to be out of the house, where you're going to be, and when you're supposed to be at home, you need to be at home, because if they go check and you're not there, they're going to report it back to the court, and you're going to end up possibly back in jail. Is that clear? Anything else, Nereda?
Nothing else, Your Honor. Thank you very much. May I be
All right,
excused?
have a good, yes, have a good afternoon.
Thank you.
Good luck to you, sir. Have a seat. Next case we're gonna call is C 4152-24-F, State of Texas versus Jordan Garcia. Speak English, Mr. Garcia.
Yes, sir.
Then stand up in front there. Mr. Lozano, it's your motion, your client's present, you may proceed.
Yes, good afternoon, Your Honor. Frank Lozano here for Mr. Garcia. Your Honor, Mr. Garcia is a U.S. citizen. He is charged with 1 count possession of controlled substance penalty between 4 and 400 grams, and also endangering of child. His bonds are set at $40,000 and $15,000 each, Your Honor. He does work at a warehouse, a produce warehouse, as a stalker. He does have another daughter, a 3-year-old daughter at home with his girlfriend, the child's mother. And Your Honor, we're asking, because of his indigency, to lower the bonds respectively to 1,000 cash surety each, so that he can afford to bond out on this case.
What says the state?
Your Honor, the state is requesting no reduction. This defendant was out on community supervision on an aggravated robbery. The allegation is that he woke up and his baby was lying next to him, looking pale. They did attempt CPR, but it is my understanding that the baby died. We are awaiting for the autopsy results, Judge. So we believe that this is based on the facts of the case, no reduction.
And Your Honor, to address that really quickly, the family did provide the medical records from the hospital. They did show SIDS, so they didn't show any harm to the child from the defendant, allegedly. So it was allegedly a sudden infant death syndrome case, but we are still waiting on the autopsy.
Okay. Well, I did see that they modified, you're on probation, correct, sir?
Oh, yes, Your
10 years?
Yes, sir.
You were just put on probation back last year sometime, is that correct?
Oh, yes, sir.
It's like September, that's about a year ago. There was a modification that was filed the following month. He was supposed to participate in some program, a youth offender program. Were you removed from that program, sir?
No, sir. I had to stop doing that program because I had to work. I had to start making more money for family, so we could. But it was for me. I voluntarily, like I went in there and told them that I would be in the program. It wasn't set by the court or nothing.
I did read the complaint regarding the child. Do you have those medical records, Mr. Lozano?
Yes,
You
I did
indicated it
forward.
was sent-
Yes, I did forward them to the state. They do have it in their possession. I can forward it to the court if needed.
Where do you live, sir? What city you live in?
McAllen,
Who do you live with?
I live with my girl and my daughter,
An apartment or a house?
an apartment.
You have a job?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you reporting the probation as required?
Yes, sir.
I didn't see any allegations that he had not been reporting the MTR. Well, no, actually, there's no MTR on file, correct?
No,
No.
it hasn't been filed yet, Your Honor.
But it will be filed, Judge.
Understand that if I reduce your bond and you get out on bond and they file a motion to revoke, you're gonna be arrested again. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Bond on the possession charge will be reduced to $1,000 cash surety. Bond on the abandoned charge will be reduced to $5,000 cash surety. We'll order monthly UAs. And I'm gonna order that he be released to AIP officials. Which means you'll be under house arrest, same thing I told the other individual. You can go to work, just need to notify him, continue reporting to probation as required, you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, anything else, Mr. Lozano?
No, that's all I have, Your Honor. Thank you. Excuse.
Yes, sir, have a good afternoon.
Thank you. Have a good afternoon.
Good luck to you, sir. Next case I'm gonna call is C4145-24-C, State of Texas versus Kervir Guerrero. How do you pronounce your first name, sir? Kervir? Kervir? Speak English? Okay. Dora Garza, this is your client. I believe he has an ICE hold. I'm not sure if you're aware of that, but he does have an immigration hold.
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon. Dora Garza for the defendant. I was notified by the district attorney's office earlier today that there is an ICE hold. We were trying to get him released before that ICE hold, Judge. I know that his wife was trying to postpone, but because of his immigration status, was having issues with that.
What are you asking? I mean,
Well, Your Honor, he's been here, if I remember correctly, he's been here like over 20 years. And even if he does have an ICE hold, he may have a way to ask for relief there. However, until he does go to immigration, will he be able to explore that option? He does have his wife here in Mission. They have a daughter, a 5-year-old daughter also. I'm asking if Your Honor can consider reducing the bonds so that at the very least, if he does get released to immigration, hopefully he's able to stay here in the US and then report to court, Judge, whenever he does get indicted.
what says the state?
Your Honor, the state would be opposed to a bond reduction based on the ICE hold.
Give me a second. Let me just look at this report real quick. You have a job, Mr. Guerrero? Where do you work?
Me dedico a remodelar casos.
Speak English? How old are you?
39 años, 39 years.
The report says he had 102 grams of cocaine in the house. Bond on the possession of marijuana reduced to $2,500 cash surety. Bond on the POCS be reduced $5,000 cash surety. EUAs to probation. You get out there on bond and you're released here, you understand there's an immigration hold. You may be deported on this case. How long have you lived in the United States?
8 years.
Okay. You do not have status to be here. Immigration has placed a hold on your case. If you make bond, you will be released to them and they'll make a determination whether they're going to send you back to Mexico or they're going to release you here. Regardless, you will have to show up to court at a later date to take care of these cases. If you don't show up, they'll be issuing a warrant for your arrest. That'll stay pending until it gets taken care of. Anything else, Ms. Garza?
No, Your Honor, that's all I have.
All right, thank you. Good luck to you,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you, Judge.
Yes, thank you. Chris, I'm gonna call C 3965-24-F, State of Texas versus Steve Hada?
Yes,
Is it Hada?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Hada, we were hearing your case a couple of days ago. Your attorney provided some information to the state as well as the court regarding an address where notice may be sent and a phone number. Chris, who did you say this person was?
Judge, I believe this is a family friend, Judge. His sister provided this address, and the lady that lives there is a family friend. The sister lives in, I believe, in Mississippi.
It's in Mission, Texas. I don't have a name, but
Adela.
Adela? Okay, you know where she lives?
Yes, sir.
You need to, if you make bond and you get out on bond, you need to check with her periodically to see if any mail has arrived for you.
I work with her every night at
Okay,
Stripes.
let me finish. Because notice, we're gonna provide that address to send notice. And so you need to make sure you check, otherwise they're gonna issue a warrant, you're gonna end up back in jail.
Yes, sir.
That address you provided, Chris, was 1807 West 26th Street in Mission, Texas, is that correct?
Correct, Judge. Zip code 78574, and the lady's name is Maria Adela de Luna.
Okay. De Luna?
Correct, Judge.
I'm sorry, so you weren't here a couple of days ago, but this gentleman was in here. We were gonna consider giving him a PR bond, but he didn't have an address. He's since provided one. He's been in jail now for about 26 days, I think. We're gonna go ahead and, I can't remember who was here the other day, but they were opposed to any bond reduction.
It was Troy Tijerina, Judge.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and grant him a $2,000 PR bond. You get out with your signature, sir. Stay in contact with your attorney, and check with your friend there to make sure that you, whenever that notice comes in, that you show up to court, you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
Anything else on that, Chris?
Nothing further, Your Honor. May be excused.
Yes, sir, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Colon.
You have a good afternoon, Your Honor. Bye, guys.
You too. Next case we're gonna call is C 4151-24-L, State of Texas versus John. Pronounce your last name, John.
Yes, sir.
Say it? How do you pronounce it?
John Tetzloff Jr.
Tesla?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tracy, this is your motion. Your client is present.
Yes, Judge.
You may proceed.
Yes, Judge. He has been in jail since August the 15th, Judge, on a state jail felony possession of controlled substance. His bond is currently set at 10,000 cash or surety. With candor to the court, Judge, he was here back in January. The court released him on a $5,000 PR bond at that time for a similar charge. At that hearing, Judge, I did indicate to the court that my client is a veteran, Judge. So he has some ongoing mental health issues. I have spoken to him regarding prior to him coming into custody this time, he had been working with the VA to get some additional benefits and paperwork, as well as looking at some type of rehabilitative facility, Judge. He was not able to get in one of those facilities. Then he picked up this charge. Since he's been in there, he was scheduled for an interview through the VA as well, Judge, and he has missed that interview. And that interview would help him essentially get some more benefits regarding some of the ongoing issues he has, Judge. I'm asking for another PR bond, Judge. He does currently reside with a friend in Mission, who he will continue residing with. And I also have spoken to Clemente Garza, Judge, regarding either his admittance into the Veterans Court, either post-conviction or pre-conviction, Judge. He does have some priors, and regarding if they were able to get him into a rehab through that program, which they would be able to, Judge. Additionally, the case that he was there for in January, it looks like it just got filed too. So it has a case number, but it doesn't have a court date yet.
Yeah, it actually has a arraignment date of 9/16, which is Monday.
Okay.
Is that the C 486224A?
Yeah, but you know what? I never got notice on that one.
Yeah. Well, it must have just gotten set.
Yeah.
What says the state?
Judge, the state would be a bond reduction. He just got indicted for a drug case earlier this year. And then he picked up another drug case. If the court is inclined to reduce his bond, the state would be asking for a drug patch.
Mr. Tesla, you've got a court date on Monday. So if you make bond, you need to show up with your attorney on Monday to the courthouse. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
It's for the previous judge charge that you were in here that I let you out on a PR bond.
Yes, sir.
You remember that?
I'm not actually able to do that drug anymore. It actually has come up as a part of one of my medical injuries that I get brain seizures and blackouts. Then the blackouts are being caused by that drug.
Okay.
And they've already told me that I can't take.
What I'm telling you is you have court on Monday for that previous charge that I let you out on a PR bond before.
Yes, sir.
You have a place to stay if you get out on bond?
Yes, sir, I do.
Where would that be at, sir?
4416 Cavasso Street in Mission, Texas, 78573, I think.
Okay. You gave an address of 2514 Paseo and Cantalo Street. Who lives there?
That's my old address. And I lived at before I moved to the address that I'm at now, 4416 Cavasso Street.
4416?
4416 Cavazos Street in Mission, Texas, 78573.
You know how to get a hold of your attorney, right?
Yes, sir.
Make sure if you get out, you speak to her so that you're prepared for Monday.
Yes, sir, I will be.
Also gonna order, well, I'm gonna order that you go in for monthly UAs through probation to get drug tested when they tell you to. You come back positive for anything illegal, drugs or alcohol,
Yes, sir.
put you back in jail. Is that clear?
Yes, sir, I do take prescription meds, so.
As long as it's prescribed and you have a prescription for it, I don't have an issue.
Yes, sir.
If it shows up, you need to show them at probation your prescription.
Yes, sir.
Not something you buy in Mexico. It's gotta be a prescription from a doctor here in the US.
The prescriptions are all here at the county jail right now.
PUAs, bond will be reduced. $1,000 PR,
What was the amount, Judge? It cut out.
$2,000 PR.
Thank you, sir.
Anything else,
you,
Tracy?
No, that's it. May I be excused?
Thank you, sir.
All right, good luck to you. Have a seat. Next case we're gonna call is C 4168-24-A, State of Texas versus Osvaldo Reyes. No habla inglés, ¿verdad? Good. Victoria Guerra is his attorney. I don't see her on the screen. This looks like a burglary of vehicle charge with priors. You have a recommendation on this, Michelle?
Yes, Your Honor, he is a habitual. He does have an extensive history. We believe that a 10,000 cash surety bond is reasonable considering his history, Judge.
Sir, well, you know what, there's Victoria now. Let me get her on the screen. Victoria, can you turn on your camera? Good afternoon. We have your client up in front of us. We just called his case. The state is opposed to any reduction. What are you asking?
If you could just give me one moment, Your Honor, I was in federal court and just got out. Let me get my bearings here for just 1 minute. Am I the last case on your docket?
We've got one more, but the attorney's not here either. He was on earlier and he logged off. This is on Osvaldo Guevara Reyes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Reyes, are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes,
Yes, because your report says that you were born in Reynosa.
yeah, nací en Reynosa, pero mi papá me hizo ciudadano americano.
Okay, so you naturalized. Okay, yeah, because I didn't see an ICE hold on him, so I was curious about that. All right. How long have you lived here in the United States?
Como 30 años,
30 years,
How old are you?
48.
48.
What are you asking, Victoria?
Your Honor, he has a burglary of a vehicle. I'm just checking his criminal history right now. It's been a while since I looked at this.
He's got a lot of priors. You on probation or parole right now, sir?
Sí,
You're on probation?
sí,
Ahorita?
sí.
For a felony or misdemeanor?
Otro vehículo. One more vehicle.
One more burglary vehicle.
Is it a misdemeanor case?
Yes.
When were you put on probation?
Como hace 8 meses, 9 meses.
9 months ago.
Nomás que pedí un programa de drogas, pero nunca me lo dieron.
They never go get back to him.
Have you been reporting the probation?
Sí,
When did you report last?
Se reportó.
el mes pasado, no me acuerdo el día.
Last month.
Your Honor, I apologize. His bond is set right now at $10,000. And I mean, comes from a poor family. Obviously, I don't think he can afford that. Any kind of reduction would be appreciated, Your Honor. Anything maybe at 5,000 or whatever the court deems necessary if you think it's appropriate.
Okay. Where do you live, Mr. Reyes?
El McAllen,
Where at? What's, is
21-22 Fresno,
2122.
Fresno.
Fresno.
that a house or an apartment?
Es casa de la mamá de mi niña.
The house.
You live there?
Yes.
How long have you lived there?
Como 8 años.
8 years.
Do you work, sir?
Construction.
Who do you work for?
Quien venga, you know, but I needed to work. Quien venga a buscar trabajo, you know.
He doesn't work for somebody. He works for himself.
Want to order monthly UAs to probation? You're gonna have to go in and get drug tested. You come back positive for drugs or alcohol, I'm gonna put you back in jail. Do you understand?
Una prueba tiene que ir con ellos para darles una prueba de drogas o alcohol. Okay. Sin drogas y alcohol hasta que el caso se resuelva. Okay.
Bond will be reduced to $1,500 cash surety.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
May I be
Thank you.
excused?
Yes.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Good luck to you, sir. Buena suerte.
Gracias.
The last case we're gonna call is C 4136-24-I, State of Texas versus Christian Vasquez. Speak English, Mr. Vasquez?
Sure.
Vasquez, you know who your attorney is?
Yes.
Who?
Jesse Contreras.
He was on just a few minutes ago, but for some reason he logged off. Does the state have a recommendation on this one?
Your Honor, this defendant is a repeater. He was on felony probation on an evading and no reduction, Judge.
Mr. Vasquez, you're on probation, right? On 2 felony cases? And they filed motions to revoke on both of those cases, which means there's no bond. So even if you were to even if I left the bonds here and you made bond, you're not gonna get out because those cases are holding you. You understand that? I don't see a court date set on those cases. It looks like the motions to revoke were just filed last week. So the court hasn't set a date for them, but they are aware that you're in jail. Your attorney, like I said, was on here earlier, but for some reason he logged off. I'm gonna go ahead and leave bonds as is. I don't know if that judge over there is gonna revoke your bond or keep you on probation or lock you up. If he decides to keep you on probation, he can also lower these bonds so that you can get out. So I'm gonna leave them, for right now, I'm gonna leave them as is because it's not gonna change things. You're not gonna get out. You understand that, right? All right. Okay, good luck to you. Michelle, thank you for your help.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, have a good afternoon.
You too. Bye.